Well, hello my fellow creative people and welcome to my channel, Bim Creative. So Easter is here and I think Easter is an amazing creative time of the year. So of course this video is gonna be Easter themed. And as you saw in the title, we're gonna make Easter eggs! Wow. So here I have some boiled eggs and I have some eggs that's been blown, so the middle is out, they're really light. And I have some styrofoam eggs. And we're gonna see what we can make of these. So all the real eggs here have been put in vinegar for about 2 minutes because it should make the colors more vibrant on the egg when you paint it. I have found 5 different ways I'm gonna try and paint my eggs today. And it involves watercolor, whipped cream, nail polish, food coloring and plastic wrap. Plus I have one bonus in the end.
Okay, so the first way I'm painting my eggs today is with only watercolor. So I find the colors I want to use in the eggs, and next up I made the whole egg wet with clean water. Then I just put the watercolor onto the egg and made the watercolor do its magic on the wet surface. I patched it up a little bit where I felt like it maybe needed more paint, for example where I held my fingers. Then I went on to another color where I just added dots. You can see I tapped the dots very lightly with a wet brush, so the watercolor was just like floating out on the egg surface. I kept adding paint until I liked the look. I did all of this again just with purple and red to see if I could get a better or another result. Whenever I needed it to dry quickly, I used a hairdryer. And this is the result I've got with only watercolor, and I really like the way they turned out. So here I'm gonna use the plastic wrap with watercolor, and I'm basically doing the same as I did before. I'm just painting the whole surface of the egg instead of patching it on as a pattern. When the surface was all covered up, I just started to tap it with plastic wrap. And yes, it's a little bit hard to get the egg to stay because it's really light. And I can't really touch it because then I would get my finger marks on the surface of the egg. But in the end I actually felt like I almost got it. But then I just decided to wrap the plastic wrap around the egg instead and see if that would get any results. And it did a little bit, but not much. I blow dried it in the end and that actually kind of worked. I tried again, but this time I tried to paint the whole surface of a dry egg, so the color was more dense. Then I tried to tap it again with the plastic wrap, and it was just as difficult this time because the egg is still light. Like there's nothing in this egg, it's just a shell. But it kind of worked. I feel like maybe the color is a little bit too dark, so maybe a little bit more water on the surface of the egg or in the watercolor would have been helpful. Or maybe actually just a lighter color would have made it better. And this is the results I've got, and once they actually dried up, they look really cool. Next up, I was trying the nail polish technique. Here it's important you have room temperature water, because if it's too cold, the nail polish will dry up in the water too quickly. You just take some nail polish and dump it into the water, and then it should spread out on the top of the water. Whatever lands on the bottom, it really can't be used. Here you can see I got too much on the surface and it ended up at just one big lump, and then I have to wipe it off the egg. But I just tried again with some different colors and I still couldn't figure out why it didn't work. Like it did stick onto the egg, but it was just not looking very nice. But then I remembered I was supposed to swirl it around with a toothpick first. So the last egg got a much better look. Whatever nail polish is still on the surface, you can just remove it with a toothpick, as you can see me doing here. Then you won't have to change the water every time. And here's my 3 attempt with the nail polish. They're not quite the best, but I got better every time I tried, so just keep practicing. And now it's time to use the whipped cream. I'm just gonna divide the whipped cream in 4 tubs because I have 4 colors of food coloring. And then you just swirl it around. It's easier to do with a fork because you have to remember not to mix it fully. You want to have that swirling effect. Then you just put your eggs in it and cover them up, like swirl them around as you can see here. And they should get some kind of marble look. I left them in the whipped cream for about 10 minutes, but the longer you have your eggs in the mix, the stronger color you're going to get. And then I rinsed them off in water. And if you don't get the results you want, you should be able to just put it back in the whipped cream after you dried them up to get more color on it. I tried that with my green and red ones, but after a few more minutes it still looked the same. And this is my results, and they look really good. I'm definitely more happy with the blue and the purple one, not so much the green and the red one. Like, don't get me wrong, the colors are amazing and really vibrant, but they don't have that marble look like the other ones do, but apart from that, they all look amazing. So the final way I'm gonna decorate my egg is with food coloring. You need to use hot water, food coloring, and for each color about 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I personally use icing gel as the colors are more vibrant, but you should be able to use normal food coloring. Make sure that the food coloring is totally dissolved in the water, that there's no lumps in the bottom, because it will leave marks on the egg's surface. And that's not what you want here. But because this egg was already messed up here, I just kept making marks on it with the paper that already had food coloring on it to make a different effect. And I will get back to that egg later. To get rid of the lumps in the bottom, I slowly poured the water into another bowl, and then I left the last bit with all the lumps in the first bowl. That way I got a clean look on the next egg. To make the ombre effect, you just put the dried up egg partly in the water again, and then it will make a more vibrant color. Just be careful where you put your fingers when you make the ombre effect, because you can actually see where I had my fingers, so it's not a straight line. If you enjoyed this video and feel like you get something out of it, please leave it a like, it would mean the world to me. And also remember to subscribe to my channel for more inspiration to do art and creativity. It doesn't have to be difficult to be creative every day. All you need to do is just dip your egg in a little bit at a time to get the ombre effect and make a cool look. You can see here one of the eggs had a crack, and I didn't see that, but I really like that look actually. The other one with the ombre effect is really cool as well. So now I'm back to the egg that I messed up. I'm just trying to get a little bit of purple on it, and it got really dark, but I actually like the way that turned out. And here's another one that I also messed up a little bit, but this is so funny because the egg is actually sweating. Like, this is hard-boiled eggs, and all the white spots you can see, that's the egg kind of sweating, but it really makes a really cool effect. You can also use a spoon to hold the egg part in the water, as I did here. This was a lot easier than me holding the egg with my finger. But here's the results of both of the last eggs after they dried up, and I really like how they look. A little bit dark maybe for my taste, but they're really cool. And now it's time for the bonus. I did it on styrofoam eggs this time, and I just painted the top part yellow, and then I paint the bottom part blue. I don't know if you can guess what it is, but next thing is you need to glue an eye onto the styrofoam egg in the yellow part. Most of you have probably guessed it now, and yes, it is a minion I'm making. Then I just use a marker to draw around the eye and then around the head, so it's the band of the glasses. I saw these minions somewhere online when I was researching for this video, and I just found them so adorable, and I felt like I had to make these as well. And now you have it, a minion. I actually made two, and I also draw on a pocket on the front. And because they're on styrofoam, you can save them many years.
Voila! This was all the eggs. It was really fun doing this, especially these ones. This was just for fun. I made these. But yeah, they were so cute. I saw someone have made minions eggs and I was like, well, I have to do that. So they were really just for fun. But the other ones here are actually... Whoop! But the other ones here were actually also very fun to make. It takes a little bit of time to do the nail polish thing. I feel like mine is getting better and better, but it's still not as good as the one I've seen online. So keep practicing those and you will get better. This one I really like because it has this crack and I didn't know that, and when it was dried up, you can really see the crack. Yeah, so that was not on purpose, but maybe you can try that. This is just food coloring, and there's actually an egg in here. I boiled it, and so I'm not sure if it's actually some kind of blue and purple inside now because of the crack. We'll have to see. Whenever we open it, you can still eat these if it's just food coloring. If it's nail polish or watercolor, remember, do not eat them because it's not very safe. As you saw maybe here on this one, it was actually kind of sweating, which means whenever there gets sweat out or water out, there can also get stuff in. So please remember that. But yeah, otherwise I actually feel like they have turned out great, and I recommend you guys try this at home. It was really fun. Just gonna put these in again. I can look at you. But it was really fun, and this doesn't require any skills. Like, yeah, you have to practice doing the nail polish thing, the technique, but that's it. The colors are kind of like doing it for you. The food coloring and whipped cream are doing it for you, and remember, you can eat that. You can also use shaving cream, but then don't eat the eggs. With the nail polish also, just use the colors you want and you like, and then put it in the water and it will do the work for you as well. I couldn't control how this turned out. And yeah, so you don't really have to have any skills with this. Just do whatever you feel like doing, and I am sure they will turn out amazing. I believe in you in this, and I feel like you should really just get started at home trying this. It's Easter now, you still have time to try this. I will link in the description what you need to use, or what I've used here, and how you need to do it. But otherwise, I just remember you have to start at the beginning, nothing else works. And until next time, bye!
Okay, so I just took one of the eggs. This one is the purple one with the crack. The crack is turned white now. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's been in the fridge. I need to have some dinner today, so I want to check this egg and see what it looks like inside. If it's purple or if it's just white. No, I think the membrane has been... No, look at that. Oh my god, look at that. That's where the crack has been. Can you see it? So it's a little bit purple, but that's just food coloring, so I can eat that easily. But that was where the crack was. That's kind of funny. So I just want to show you guys that the egg, it doesn't get any color in it unless it's cracked. So yeah, now we can eat. So I got a cold just after I recorded my video, so that's why I sound a little bit different in my voiceovers than I do in my actual videos where I talk. I just thought you should know.